Hello and welcome to sessions, was it 17 of Abandon Hope? I should probably move my screen to the screen where everyone is. That's a good screen. Unfortunately, Aiden is, again, not with us today, so Slash may end up getting horrible things if I had done to him. Can anyone
I hope
tell
so.
me what happened last session?
I can't because, not because I'm busy leveling.
The party had a bit of a discussion, and it started out more tense and got a little bit easier over time. Wendellorn had a bone serpent thing crawl out of his eye socket, where it was placed previously, and it began talking to us as well. And we reached the conclusion that we need to take the soul that we commandeered from a deer creature
Haha.
to. Was it the Sunken City? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, sounds
Yes.
close enough.
The Sunken City,
Yes.
where we were to place the soul in the corpse of a dead god, and then we should extract it, defeat it, something. And we have to do some favors for the Bone Serpent.
And
then we were ambushed, and
Yes.
things happened.
There was some discussion as to whether or not you guys should go sifting through the slime that remains of the villagers. I think that was generally determined a thing not to do. And then you guys were ambushed by deer. Hooray, deer. And at the end of that encounter, can anyone tell me what happened? Not because I don't remember anything. Definitely not.
Didn't a couple of cats run away?
One cat ran away, and one of them just kind of died, I believe.
There were 3 total.
A couple cats ran away. One of them just kind of died, I believe. And then the forest caught on fire, I think.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
And what I don't know if I mentioned at the end of last session is the cat that died turned into a corpse that looks very much like old Sam when it did die. It just kind of
No, you hadn't
unshrunk.
mentioned that.
Well, that was a very important thing for me to have not said, so I now undo the unsaying.
You unnot said it.
I unnot say it. And so, that's where we are. A pulse of magical energy emanated from the bone snake that leveled everybody up. Because I couldn't be bothered to tell everybody to do a long rest in between, because that would last a week, because that was a bright idea I had for doing rests, which I still stand behind. So, now that most people except for Worm are mildly buffer, Worm is having a hard time casting off his worm skin. Yeah.
I just don't have my spell list populated.
Your spell list is an empty city, filled only by Potato Orphan.
Oh no. So, Potato Orphan is a level 3 spell?
Probably about as effective over the course of a campaign as a single level 3 spell being cast once.
Oh, good.
I think that's a good metric for pets and NPCs, is how much effect they have on the campaign as compared to a single leveled spell. That's what wizards should have been doing to balance ranger companions and stuff, but it's just not something they thought of back then. So you guys are surrounded by flames. What do you do?
Well, we were traveling in a direction, right?
Indeed.
Guess I'm down to just keep traveling.
Why are we surrounded by flames?
Because somebody's firebolt caught the forest on fire.
I don't remember that being said.
Well,
I remember it vaguely.
Damn it, Whisper.
I just went back to the end of the last video, and everything did burst into flames.
I
Oh,
hit
I think
a
a cat. Yes,
it burst into flames and it ran away.
Oh yeah, that.
that's right. Went into the brush and stuff.
just leaving a trail of forest fire as it goes. I remember now. Okay.
There was a bad joke about gender reveal parties, I think.
Sounds about right.
It was a cat. All right, so you guys are gonna just keep on traveling. What speed are you gonna do this traveling at?
3.
It's a good speed,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what it relates to.
Can you have a look at my spell list and make sure I imported the right ones, because I'm stupid.
Oh, worm.
Does that look like level 3 cleric spells?
I don't even know. I mean, you should be able to clicky on the spell thingy and see what they
I
are.
did clicky on the spell thingy and I did the filter
Well,
thingy.
I see
and
you having
everything. I
had
just want to make sure I did it right.
I see you having none selected on your character sheet.
No, I didn't.
I mean, I see you have several selected of first and second level spells. I see you
Well, that's
have.
because I just imported them.
Okay,
I just want to make sure.
I mean, probably. I couldn't tell you which ones are level 3 ones because I don't know how the game works. I'm not that familiar with cleric spells, despite having played mostly clerics. To be fair, most of my clerics never reached a level at which they could cast level 3 spells.
Okay, fair enough. So, as a part of this magical leveling, do we also get to reselect our spells?
You can... Yes, you may reselect spells.
Okay.
If your class would allow you to reselect spells on a level up, or a long rest, or a short rest. You may select your spells while you're running through a burning forest. Just this
Sweet.
once.
I just have to figure out how many spells I know, because I don't remember how to know that.
So you guys are continuing down the road. In what manner are you continuing down the road?
Away from the fire, hopefully.
Well,
Quickly,
technically
I
you're going
suppose.
toward the fire if you're going down the road.
And quickly.
Well, the
Yes.
road isn't on fire. It's the forest to either side of the road, so it's just a
Yes.
little toasty.
That is true. Well, quickly as you go along, I mean, it's not as though this path that is tread by very few mortals is the best kept path in the world. There's quite a lot of overhang and some brush that encroaches. I mean, the fire is spreading very quickly. It's getting more than a little toasty. Everyone who doesn't have resistance to fire damage, can you please make me a Constitution saving throw? Wendellorn takes 1 fire damage as the heat oppresses him just a little bit.
It singes his beard slightly.
The bone orphan, potato orphan is also going to take 1 point of damage.
How many hit points does a potato orphan have?
That's for the potato orphan to know and you to find out.
It's my potato orphan, man.
That is true. And Slash did okay also.
What form is Slash currently in?
He's kind of in mud form. He's kind of hobbling along
Right,
in a
right,
broken...
with the mud babies.
Yes. The bone serpent is becoming mildly agitated. Yeah, he wants you to go faster.
How fast is he going?
He's going at the speed of whoever he's coiled around. I don't know, who's he coiled around?
Well, he shouldn't complain if he's relying on somebody else for his own speed.
That is fair. On the other hand, I think any creature can be forgiven for not wanting to get deep fried in the middle of a lovely walk through the woods. He does say that it is not much further to the resting place of the sunken city, although that may depend on whether or not you get ambushed by more deer.
Incidentally, I can create food and water if I want to. Unlimited cupcakes.
I think they're very limited because spell slots are an incredibly limited resource, but technically unlimited if you have enough resources and time.
It's 45 pounds of food.
That is a lot of cupcakes.
That's a lot of cupcakes.
Do you suggest to your companions that you stop in the middle of a blazing fire to summon some cupcakes?
I do not.
That's good judgment.
But the possibility is there.
Well, you continue along the path. The fire continues to grow. Everyone, please make me another Constitution saving throw.
This cat just run down the road setting fire to everything.
Yes. And
Why?
then everything, because it was a cat that was on fire, and it was running through the forest. That was a very dry forest.
Are both sides of the road on fire?
They are by now.
They'd be more on fire.
Cats are awful.
They
I want
are.
to point out that Ivor got 2 natural 20 Constitution saves in a row.
He's now fireproof completely.
Well, unfortunately, Vesper and Worm are going to take 4 fire damage.
Okay, so here's a question. Why are my hit points at 0 right now?
Were they 0 from last encounter? Because you got knocked into the ground by a deer?
I'm pretty sure I ended it upright.
I think you did, so you should be at like... Well, the fire...
So I had 1 and I just...
Yes.
Okay, great.
Worm just kind of crawls into a... crumples into a ball and just refuses to move because he is unconscious. And also your orphan rolled a 3. Your orphan took a good amount of fire damage. Your orphan is looking more like a baked potato.
Well, Can I die curled around my orphan to protect her from the fire?
You may.
Okay.
Well, Worm just fell. What are you going to do about this? Oh yeah, let's do a slash. Slash is doing okay. Slash is unfortunately a bunch of little baby slashes and is not going to be able to carry Worm this time. However, he could jump out of his body and possess Worm's unconscious corpse.
Can he do that?
It's not that dissimilar to what he's done with Ivor. He's going to give it a try. Can you?
I don't recall if he's inhabited something dead or not.
Oh, we're gonna.
Dead.
You're not dead. Yeah, you're just
Well,
fainted.
yeah. Okay.
Can you make me a charisma saving throw, please, Worm?
Can I do that while unconscious?
The rules
It
might
seems
say
like
you
it
automatically
counts.
fail, but I kind of don't care at this point.
Screw the rules. You're Taylor.
Basically. Unfortunately, Slash pings off of your psyche's natural defenses and is unable to possess you.
My amazing psyche.
He's going to try to intimidate his way into your head. Can you make me another charisma saving throw, please?
God damn it.
You are used to his
I am
wiles by
not
now.
having this.
He's now just screaming, let me in Astral. And you're just having a nice little worm nap. To be fair, it does seem to be pretty difficult to intimidate Worm. Well, the flames grow higher. How are you going to get Worm out of the way? Yes.
I begin to tie a rope around Worm.
You're just gonna drag me?
All right.
Yes. Or it's in 2.
You have a rope
With
around
the 3
Worm.
of us combined. Okay. I'll just start trying to tug, but I am very weak, so I probably won't get anywhere without help.
All right, would anyone like to help?
Potato Orphan will ride like a toboggan.
Sure, I'll help.
All right, Ivor, can you please give me a strength roll with advantage? Right. You are able, with Wendeloran's help, to drag the worm. The potato orphan does indeed ride along and uses its bone club to steer.
Sorry, Worm, you may be missing some flesh by the time we get where we're going.
It's okay, he's used to it. So
Yeah,
armor's for, I think. Right, you go along. Everything's ablaze by now, but the bone serpent says that there will be water soon enough, probably, if you just hustle a little bit further. One last Constitution saving throw, please. The worm is going to automatically fail. Right, George and Ivor are both going to take 6 fire damage. I meant Wendelorn and Ivor, I suppose. George isn't a character.
You're always doing so well before. Now that he's got to carry somebody, he's working up a sweat. He can't handle it.
The orphan rolls a 2 this time. And
Oh no, it's gonna be a big potato orphan.
the orphan faints.
No, they can't steer anymore.
And Slash does fine.
He's a ghost. He's probably fine anyway.
He's gaining a terracotta body as we speak.
Nice.
A great, it's not exactly a hill, certainly not a mountain. Kind of a gigantic pile of rocks, I suppose, that's vaguely hill-like. There is an opening to it, and the bone snake screams at you to get into the hole. He seems to like people jumping into holes. Hopefully there's no acid at the bottom of this hole.
Oh, okay. I attempt to throw Worm's body into the hole.
Thanks.
Well, it'll be hard to pull you in from down there. I imagine.
You do a shove and Worm goes through, along with the orphan.
But then I go in after.
Does anyone not go in? I guess I should ask.
Yeah, Wendelorn will go in the hole. Yeah.
All right.
I can't remember a detail. Does Wendelorn currently have a bone serpent eye, or does he have a missing eye, empty socket, and we also have a bone serpent separately?
He has a magical eye, and you have a separate bone serpent.
Gotcha.
It's important to know these things.
Does he now have a boneless eye?
Yes.
Good. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You all land in a cave that does not have water at the bottom of it. It is considerably cooler in here than it was in the forest. You hear faint echoings in the distance. If you strain, you think you can hear the drippity drop of water from a ceiling up above. There's a light that comes through the opening to the cave, but though I have put lighting on the map, it's mostly because I refuse to pay for dynamic lighting. And if something is lit, it is because it is representative of what you would see if you have a light source or dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you see an actual light source, of which there is none right here.
I'd like to take a look at Worm. Is Worm currently just deceased or still unconscious?
Worm is unconscious and very battered.
Wow. It's impressive.
He's a little flatter than he once was.
Does anyone have any knowledge of trying to keep Worm from passing away here? I am not so good at first aid. But if no one else has any ideas, I will give it a shot.
Vesper.
Hold on a minute, I'm trying to see. I didn't have my sheet up. I was looking at the map that we actually have for once.
That's
Slash,
fair.
can you possess the body and tell us where it hurts? I assume everywhere, but it may be more specific.
I'm a little crispy.
No, I've got nothing.
Oh no.
He agrees to do this. I suppose it makes sense. If you can just heal people by touching them, why bother to learn medicine?
Weren't you some sort of clerical sorcerer?
Wait. I do have spell slots.
Yes.
Haha.
Yay!
Yeah, you do have a couple of third-level spell slots now. There, Vesper.
Igor is currently taking out a hammer and like some rope and things. Like, okay, first aid time.
Time for
And
surgery.
I'm gonna take his hand like, no.
Okay, Slash is gonna try to possess Worm once more. Worm, can you please give me another charisma saving throw?
Mm.
He screams at your soul. Your soul just kind of sits where it feels like. He's like, "Oh, hello, Slash. How are you doing today?" And he cannot get in.
Why can't I roll this well any other time?
Well, for all the
Wait.
horrible things you've done to Slash, I'm pretty sure you don't want him occupying you.
Well, I mean,
He's gonna turn all the
being that
faucets on.
I'm conscious. Is it at disadvantage at all?
Yes, Mr. Ivor.
Can I start mixing some of my paints on a palette and
Yes.
like try to match Worm's skin color?
Yes.
And I'll just start painting over the wounds. It is fixed.
Here, I have spells here. Cake.
One single spark of healing magic rises about an inch from your palm and then splats down into Worm. Congratulations, you're
tried.
healed.
I did it. Worm saved.
Good job, buddy.
Orphan is
-1 medicine.
Orphan is still unconscious.
Igor begins mixing more paint.
Potato paint. It's like vodka, but it's paint.
With, yes. Mixing paint with extreme intent.
You hear a kind of whirring sound. Like the action of a mill.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear anything for like the last 30 seconds.
You hear a whirring sound, as of the machinery of a grain mill in the distance.
Is the potato orphan okay?
No, the potato orphan is completely unconscious.
Oh,
Does the potato orphan smell like baked potato?
It does not. It smells like burning orphan. I suppose I don't know how differently burning orphan and burning potato smell from each other, but I imagine they're not too similar.
does that help?
That will help. The orphan is now a sentient orphan.
Okay, good.
It waddles its bone club around, looking for a target. The bone serpent says, "Yes, we have arrived. Be wary. I imagine those two who ran away from us will be behind us shortly. Perhaps they will have reinforcements with them when they come."
2 being the burning cats.
Yes,
Are you sure they didn't just burn to death?
they may have. Do you want to put money on it?
Right. Yes.
Unfortunately, I have no use for currency.
Oh.
I have often found it beneficial to assume my enemies will be more effective than they often actually are. I am surprised less often as a result. He looks around. Unfortunately, I do not remember the proper way. There are some. We should be finding the topmost levels of the sunken city around these parts.
Well, very well. Let us be on. And Eva will start kind of stealthily moving around, trying to like get close to some corners and see what he can see as he moves ahead.
All right. Can you give me a stealth roll, please?
I can.
All right. You feel pretty stealthy.
You said there's no actual light in here, right?
Correct.
So I will light a torch.
All right.
And I will cast light on the end of my staff.
All right. What you see in the light as it resolves, just about as Ivor sees it, is one of these things. It is.
What the hell is that?
It is a bulky humanoid lizard with its hands and its feet chopped off, and a metal barrel of some kind jutting out of its gullet. It looks at you with beady. Yes.
Okay, but why though?
I love it.
Because I'm sorry. It looks
I
at
have
you
that
with
as a
beady eyes.
familiar.
Next campaign.
I love that it doesn't even have like a transparent background.
I tried.
It's
You're the
beautiful.
I don't know why it doesn't. I was frantically gathering it in the 5 minutes before we began.
Do the beady eyes look hostile?
They look dead.
Oh. it
Saliva
looking
drips continuously from the corners of its mouth, and its tail swishes
That
back and
doesn't
forth.
seem dead. Okay. Does it look like it's looking at Ivor in particular, or
It
just
does.
kind of is? Oh, okay. Hmm.
There's a high-pitched whine, and then a bolt of necrotic energy flies from the barrel in its mouth toward Ivor. Does an 18 hit?
Barely misses. Bring up my shield and block it.
It pings off your shield, leaving the ozone smell of necrotic energy behind that you know oh so well.
Can I run up and stab it in reaction to this, or are we taking initiative?
We're going to take initiative now. Make sure to click on your token when you add initiative. And I just cleared the old list, so I may have just removed people's initiatives. I'm sorry.
I'll send it again, but mine was a 4. So.
Okay.
My first one was a 10. If you can change them at all. This is so hard to do on one monitor, by the way.
We'll hook the second one up.
There's no room on this table.
Get it off the table.
Yeah.
Mm.
Two more of the figures resolve into the light. Each of them have a leaf-shaped blade protruding from the stump of one arm, and the necrotic energy is just kind of constantly vomiting from their mouth instead of having been blown from a barrel.
I take it back. That's the one I want as a familiar.
Could these be my lizards?
Why are they so fat, though?
They have fed well, I'm sure. Just one moment, please. All right, it is this lad's turn first.
Ivor got a 4. That's
Ooh, sorry.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Worm is the closest target.
Beautiful.
He's going to try to stab Worm in the face with his knife hand. Does a 15 hit?
Yeah.
Take 3 necrotic damage.
Beautiful.
That could have been worse.
He's gonna slobber.
Only resistant to necrotic damage.
I'm sorry, that was slashing. I think you might need. Yeah, I think all of you are resistant to necrotic damage just by virtue of being undead. That was slashing though. This is gonna be necrotic as he tries to vomit on you.
Oh, beautiful.
Good.
Will a 14 hit?
It meets my AC. That means it does hit, right?
Yes. You take 9 base necrotic damage.
And I'm down.
It's this one's turn. This one plants itself in the ground and is going to unleash a rapid fire volley against you, Mr. Ivor. Sixteens do not hit, is that correct?
Armor class 19.
All right. Vesper in progress, it's your turn.
Why have you still not fixed that?
Because it's not my character.
I can't do it. You fool.
Wow.
All right, let's try to deprogress you. There we go. It's still your turn.
Why are you this way?
I'm sorry. Not really.
Well, I suppose. Suppose I do need to do something. Scoot my way over to this. Yes, English.
There's a lizard
Movement.
vomiting on top of Worm's corpse, which is probably not the first time this has happened.
It is, actually.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna burn it.
All right.
Not to burn me. I'm already crispy.
Not you.
Oh, that'll hit. And that was a critical, so rather than getting another damage roll, you're going to have advantage on your damage. So make the attack again. So you will deal the 6 damage to him. His
Why
saliva
does it
sizzles on
say-
his scales. What's that?
Why did it say 6 plus 1?
It's using a default critical damage calculation,
Oh,
which we're ignoring.
gotcha.
Yeah, it actually did something well.
You tend to do quite a lot of work when you use Firebolt.
Aside, when things aren't bushes.
Yeah, that's true. Are you going to do anything else?
Nah, no.
Okay.
Your firebolt might not be updated for level 5. Should do 2d10.
Yeah.
That is a very good point.
It should do what now?
2d10.
Level 5 firebolt upgrades to 2d10.
Oh yeah, leveling.
Yee, cantrips are cool. They let wizards not just stand in the background and fire crossbows after using the one spell they can use every 5 days. That's what wizards used to have to do.
Hmm.
Can you please...
They weren't allowed crossbows.
Okay, just
So
wield a
your-
dagger aggressively. Poor
Your
wizards.
proficiency bonus might not be updated either.
That's also a good point.
I will work on that if it allows
Alright,
me to.
can you throw 2 more attack rolls in there for Firebolt? We'll treat your first 2 rolls as your first damage roll, and then your second 2 rolls you're going to do are going to be your other damage roll for accounting advantage on damage from the critical, if that made even a shred of sense.
It made no sense, but I understand what makes sense to do, so I assume that's that.
Yay! My work here is done.
Does it make more or less sense than my Discord status?
Hmm.
Good
Tough call.
point. I'm just trying to figure out why it's not letting me update it.
I don't know. I can try to
Does it
assist with
key
that
off
afterward.
of the? Does it key off of the number on the level thing at the top?
Okay, so your proficiency bonus is currently at... Well, you're only listed as a 4th level sorcerer in the character sheet.
Yeah, and I
You
was
need to
just
hit
trying
the
to change
gear
that.
by your background to change your level.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
There, and now you're listed as a level 5, although it's only updating as sorcerer 4 here.
Yeah, I don't know why it's still saying that.
Because it's roll 20, probably. Alright, in the short term, can you just give me 2 more attack rolls so we can calculate out your damage for this attack, please?
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you. Alright, so you did the same amount of damage both times. So you did 9 fire damage.
Yay.
Boom.
Now I can fight with this.
You burned off quite a lot of this thing's flesh. The grease under its skin bubbles. Are you going to do anything else?
Nah, I'm just gonna go fight with my character sheet for a bit.
Alright, understandable. It's this guy's turn. And I just completely misremembered what we were doing for criticals. The advantage on damage was from flanking, not from criticals. We'll just use the inbuilt critical damage from now on. This thing's gonna try to attack you, Mr. Ivor.
Alrighty.
It misses. It's gonna try to vomit. It misses. Wendellorn, your turn.
My shield is taking a beating.
So I'm going to cast Firebolt on the one that's hovering over Worm there.
Alright. You hit.
Nice.
And you murder it. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to move up a few spaces so that I'm between them and Worm.
Alright. Lovely.
And that's that.
Alright. Worm, it's time to play your favorite game, Death Saving Throw.
That is my favorite game. How'd you know?
Well, you're always playing it. You succeed. Ivor, it is your turn.
All right. Bonus action, disengage. And
Yeah.
I will whoop, 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 and then bolts from the grave happens because that's
Yeah.
a thing. Yes.
You hit.
This one, yeah. Okay. Eldritch Blast.
All right. Your bolts from the grave do not seem as effective as they should be.
Okay, good to know. So this gets 2 beams now because
Yes.
it's the 5th level.
That's
What
a
was the
miss
second one?
and a
There we
miss.
go. Rip, that's my turn.
Your Eldritch Blasts. You're not entirely used to throwing 2 of them at once, so your trajectory is just a little off. All right, this one is going to, seeing you running away, it seems like it's going to ignore you, E4. It's going to shoot at Wendelorn. Does a 6 hit Wendelorn?
No.
Right, it begins, it reaches down and grabs some loose dirt and rocks and begins packing it into its barrel. Vesper, your turn.
I suppose I can just keep burning them.
That is entirely possible.
Sure.
You hit if you're hitting this one.
I am, yeah, the one that's...
Okay. And you vacuum him for some good old fire.
I'm sure it smells great in here now.
Smells crispy.
Anything else?
I'll probably step a bit closer, yeah.
All right.
Scoot here, I guess.
All right.
So what is Slash up to while we're doing this?
Slash is running around as 4 little clay dolls.
Excellent.
You can do that.
That's all he can do at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. It's this one's turn. It's going to... And the entire map is moving when I try to move the dude. Roll20 is acting particularly weird today.
I'm not seeing the map move.
Oh, the entire screen is just moving for me when I try to move him.
Oh.
And it's been very inconsistent about updating health values. Alright, so he's going to try to attack you, Wendelorn. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Just give me one moment. You take 4 slashing. Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
You'll take half of 2 necrotic.
All right.
Oh no.
A big boy looms.
Oh,
Oh no.
He looms indeed.
My favorite part is that you apparently sized it down and then made it bigger so it's all full of artifacts.
Uh, Wendalorn, it is your turn.
Okay, so the guy down toward the bottom here, he's was loading his cannon full of stuff.
This guy, yes.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at him.
All right. That will hit. And you one-shot him.
Nice.
Your bolt pierces right through the front of his cannon and causes it to explode in his skull.
Okay, I think that's going to be the end of my turn.
All right. Worm, it is your turn. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
The big boy looks over your head, Ivor, as he stands several heads taller than you. And he looks in Vesper's direction. His cannon begins to hiss, and then lobs a shell of necrotic energy at Vesper.
oh,
Does a 9 hit?
no.
Alright, it deviates. He deviates in Worm's direction.
No, thanks.
Worm,
Oh.
can you please automatically fail me a dexterity saving throw? You're going to take half of 12 necrotic damage, which is going to be an automatic failure. It's going to rush the group, trampling over you, Ivor, or it's going to try to trample over you. And its poor little boy. You'll have an attack of opportunity against it, but first we'll resolve the trample.
Sure.
Does a 23 hit?
I will cast shield with my reaction instead of
Alright.
an opportunity attack.
It causes
So
you...
it does not.
Alright, it causes you to ricochet off of it instead of being hit by its gigantic flailing limbs. And it will remain there this turn. Ivor, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do Eldritch Blast first.
That will hit. That one will not hit.
Okay. Then I will use my movements to plot myself up here
Okay.
and try to hide as a bonus action. Oh boy.
There were, in fact, some boys here. You can
Okay,
certainly try to
well-
hide, though. They weren't looking directly at you.
Well, if I see them, I still have some movement left, so
Okay.
is it possible for me to squeeze in here?
Yes, it's large enough for you to be able to get in there.
Okay, so I can like tuck in here and try to kind of hide
Um,
in this.
Yeah. Can you give me a stealth roll, please?
Cool.
You feel pretty stealthy.
Okay. That triggers my bolts from the grave. Do I have line of sight on this guy?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be. Can I assume I'm hidden from him for advantage on this?
Yes. Right, you hit.
Okay. And that is my turn.
All right. Vesper. The big lad has just crushed one of his boys and is now in melee with you and Wendelorn.
No, not the boy.
After what looked to you like sniping Worm from behind you and Wendelorn guarding him, though that was definitely not what he intended.
Hmm.
The barrel of its weapon is large enough to swallow a small creature, and as you watch it, it does this. Though the smaller lizards were certainly not small, the remains of that one are. Kind of scoops it back like a crocodile snapping meat back into its gullet. And there's a
Can I
sound
put
of
my-
grinding as the corpse goes down the barrel.
Can I put my spiritual weapon inside of there?
You cannot put the spiritual weapon inside of the barrel, I'm sorry to say.
Oh.
That is fantastic idea, though.
Why not?
It would probably get ground up. You don't want to get a mini Vesper ground up. That's just cruel.
The little mini
They have
Vesper
unions.
streams come-
Oh. Well, I guess I'll cast it behind it then.
All right.
Keep that trick in mind, though, and at a later date, send your spiritual weapon down something else's hole.
Like that. Or would you prefer it somewhere else?
There's fine.
Can you flank with
Okay.
the spirit?
You cannot.
Bummer.
Nice. You mini Vesper stabbed it real good in the ankle.
And I really don't have good melee. So yeah, the only things I've got are rain, so I guess I'll just keep burning it. I don't really have many other options.
All right. Are you going to firebolt it? Right, you're at disadvantage and you miss.
Actually, would it be possible for me to move back from it?
It would have an attack of opportunity against you.
I've got health, I'll take it.
That's an interesting strategy for a sorcerer, but I will not stop you.
I have health. I am a
Does an
strong
11
baby.
hit?
It does not.
All right. It swings clumsily over your head. I'm sorry, that might have been the wrong roll. 1 second. That should have been +5. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Okay, good. Move where you will.
Scoot.
Scooty doot. Wendelorn, your turn. Vesper just abandoned you.
And moon.
Would it get an attack of opportunity on me if I misty stepped as a bonus action?
It would not anyway, because it already used its reaction.
It already used it.
Well,
But
wonderful.
no, it wouldn't.
In that case, I'm going to back up to here and then hit it with guiding bolt.
All right. That will hit. Do you punch it through the face? It dead.
Dang.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. I don't know why that came out as +9, but okay. Worm, it is your turn.
Huzzah, I live.
Yay, you live. You're surrounded by pulped lizard. What do you do on your alive turn?
Well, I have no idea those two are up there, so good job, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. Will you pass your turn then? Are you gonna
Yes.
get up?
Well, I have, what, 1 hit point now?
Yes.
Mm.
Right, Evor, it is your turn, I think.
Trying to cast Cure Wounds on myself,
Okay.
but it's not doing. It'll cast like 6 of them any minute.
I believe you. There you go. That was a good cure wounds right there.
All right.
Yes. Now it is
Okay.
Evor.
Can I squeeze through here as well?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna bonus action dash to
All
trigger bolts from the grave if I can see this guy.
Yes.
Okay.
You hit.
Okay. And then I have 10, 15, 20.
You see the dead big old boy.
Yes. And can I see these guys from here, or do I need to go farther?
You can... I don't think you can see them. 1 second.
Okay. I mean, I can pop down like here.
Yeah, you'll be able to see him from there.
Okay. I'll Eldritch Blast the first beam at the guy nearest.
Okay. That will not hit.
Okay. Same target. Second beam.
All right.
Arrgh.
That will not hit.
Okay. And that was half my movement. So I will...
Whoop, whoop,
And that's
whoop.
my turn.
All right. So you guys just saw Evor dash down, come around a corner. You heard him fire off some Eldritch Blasts and then speed back to Wendell inside. Chances are there's more things out there. Vesper, your turn. And Worm is alive again, so that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So can I kind of shimmy my way up into, like, kind of chill up in that corner there?
In this corner?
Yeah,
Or-
but like up in the pocket there, it wasn't
Oh, like
allowing
this?
me to actually select it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hold down Alt, you should be able to move out of the grid.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody begins immediately stutter stepping.
Ivor uses his final 5 feet of movement to moonwalk.
Congratulations. You see the lizard standing there. Only the bottom one. He looks particularly meaty.
Are you not going to set fire to it?
Probably not, but I'm going to bring my spiritual weapon up there.
Alright, you can move it 30 feet. Are you not able to
I'm gonna
move it?
assume it. Um,
What's that? There she goes.
Yay.
The lizard looks surprised. You hit. Boom, boom. Do you do anything else?
Oh, I suppose I could probably reach in there, couldn't I? I could
Probably.
probably cast it.
Right. You hit, and you burn him to cinders.
Lovely. And that will be it.
All right. This one's going to look really confused and walk away.
Understandable.
We'll go out of initiative. Doot. Now surrounded by lizard corpses, what do you guys do?
Well, Worm, you appear to not be having such a good day.
I'm fine. Is the potato orphan okay?
Potato Orphan suffered no damage. Neither did Slash.
I don't care about Slash.
Oh, Slashes, I should say. The Slashettes. Potato Orphan says,
What?
that's all you can make out.
Hey, man, that's speech. That's more than she could do before.
That's true.
I'm so proud of you. So where is our friend?
You're a Vesper, or you're...
No,
Worm.
the bone
Bone serpent.
worm.
The Bone Serpent was sitting on top of one of the Slashettes. And it's looking at Ivor funny. As you weren't able to compel them.
I wasn't able to... What?
You were not able to compel them. You're on the same side. They didn't seem particularly interested in shying away from you. Frankly, I had expected them to obey your every order.
Well, as soon as one of them saw me, they immediately attacked.
It is very
Did not take very long.
strange. He wrinkles his little bone nose, which is an impressive feat considering there is no articulation in the bone nose.
That's pretty good. Do they know him?
Know him, I don't suppose. I suppose it's
I
not really my place to
certainly-
tell.
I certainly do not know them. But I guess that doesn't count for much.
Maybe things have changed down here.
Do you think the plan will still go as you think?
So long as no one has awakened since I was last aware of this place, the plan should remain. We will make adjustments as needed.
How long has that been?
Long enough, I suppose. If a god had awoken, I think we would know.
Yeah, this is a good point. Ivor will start sticking ahead in a different direction this time.
Alright. Let me clear some vision here.
Worm, your light is very obvious. I am trying to be stealthy.
Poor worms, just trying to be bright. You see nooks and crannies Oh, please don't crash roll 20. You see no lizards here.
Okay. I'll press on.
All right, can you give me one more stealth roll, please? All right, you feel pretty stealthy. You see a kind of a crossroads here. You hear noise coming from the left crossroad. Evor's left, I suppose. The easternmost path. If we're assuming the top of the page is north.
Okay. I will
This one.
try to get up to this corner, like kind of press up against the wall. Maybe
All right.
I can do the alt thing and be like, like that. So that I hopefully wouldn't be spotted by anything in that general direction and try to take a peek.
All right. Can you give me a perception roll, please?
I can.
All right, as you edge closer, you see what is clearly a stone wall with a very thick oaken door set into it through the cavern.
Okay. Does this wall end here where the darkness ends there? Or
1 second.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Very good.
Would you like to get closer?
I think after seeing that, and I don't see any, I hear sound, but I just see the wall and the door there. I don't see like any windows or anything, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and take a peek down in this direction.
All right.
Just try to make sure that this angle is safe too, so nothing comes at us from behind.
You see
Okay.
deposits of dark minerals on the walls here. You smell something nasty and oily. You see no creatures.
Okay. I'll return to the group.
All right.
So, down that way, a very short distance, not very far at all, there is a sharp left turn. I saw a stone wall, not like the walls of this place, this cave we are in, but more intentional. It looked like it was architected by something, some sort of door in the wall, and I heard noise coming from behind it. There was also a small pocket of a cave with some dark minerals, and it did not smell pleasant. Mr. Serpent, do you know anything about these minerals?
I'm afraid minerals are of little concern to me.
This is fair. Can I examine the bodies of the lizard things on the floor here to see if
Yes.
anything they had on them was similar to those minerals, the smell, the sight, the whatever?
Yes. Can you give me investigation, please?
I can.
All right. The smell is not similar. And you'd see what may have been specimens of those minerals cut and set into the metal barrels and the metal blades of these lizards. There are also inscriptions when you look very closely on the barrels and the blades. And anyone who happens to be examining these also give me an Arcana or a Religion check.
Okay.
I should have said if you are proficient in either one of those. Hey,
Yeah, Ivor has religion.
yes. George. Wendelorn has taken inscriptions down in his book from the lower levels of Hope when you guys were exploring. There was a statue you had taken a rubbing of, and these match it. They're in a different hand, though. but the markings are clearly the same. Worm does not find anything in his memory that tells him what this is.
These ones are also indecipherable.
They are indecipherable to you, yes. Ivor, you recognize these runes now that you see them again. The last time you saw them was when you were inside your own mind, occupying it with Slash in the chamber with the chair. They had not stood out to you particularly at the time, but you now draw the connection in your mind.
It appears you are correct, Mr. Serpent. I believe these words, whatever they are in some way connected to my deity. Strange that they would attack so suddenly, but these runes I recognize.
Yes, very strange.
They do appear to be using the minerals of these caves in their weaponry in some way as well.
Perhaps I should care more about minerals. Would you show me the deposits?
Indeed. They're just down this way.
All right. Would anyone like to go with them as they go?
I would.
All right.
I'll go as well.
You guys see the slashlings and the orphan will go also, and you see no more lizards as you go.
Are you coming, Vesper?
Yeah, let me just shimmy out of the little Vesper cave.
The Vesper Cave. I love
Did
it.
Slash just ghost through the wall?
He may have tunneled a little bit.
Ooh!
So the bone serpent takes a long look and he says, "Well, I have no idea what their proper purpose is, but they ring with a faint necrotic energy. Nothing that, frankly, I think would be of use to anyone, but apparently someone magnified their potential a bit."
Yes, and they appear to have used my god's power to do so.
Should we take some?
If you would like to whack at the wall with something, you may try to break them free.
Does anybody have something that would work for that?
I will not take part in this.
The bone serpent seems very interested as to what's going to happen here.
I have a hammer up there.
And I do have a crowbar you can use.
I would like to stand back if you're going to do so. I will be out here examining things.
I'd like to take the crowbar and try to pry a piece out.
All right, can you please give me a strength roll?
Any moment.
You haul at the rock and are unfortunately not able to pry it free. It is a very powerful rock with powers. There is the faintest whine when you come close to the crystals, minerals, etc. And the humming grows louder as you pry at them.
Oh. Does anybody else want to try?
You also have like magic and stuff if you really felt like it.
What?
I actively suggest Vesper doesn't cast Shatter in here, but that's the only suggestion I'm gonna make. That's just more general
TPK.
cave-in.
TPK.
Crystals fall, everyone dies. Is there another avenue you would like to pursue, Worm?
Not unless I can just like. Well, that was with a crowbar. Can I try with a hammer?
You may try with a hammer. You flail at the minerals. You're still feeling pretty woozy from your most recent bout of unconsciousness.
Ivor will return to the cave and is hearing a couple dull thuds. You know, I have acid if you want to try that, but I will still be standing far, far away if you do so.
Destroy them. I was trying to take them out.
I don't want to
Well, I
destroy them,
wasn't
says Worm as he
thinking-
hits the wall with a hammer.
I wasn't thinking chucking a whole vial of acid. I was just thinking, you know, strategically dripping some along an edge, trying to weaken it. I don't know. No, okay, I'll be over here.
What, what kind of roll would be strategically dripping acid?
The orphan moves past you, Worm, silently.
Would you like to try?
Roll an intelligence save to not smash the acid on the dangerous rocks.
Did you ever give the potato orphan the acid? I think that
No,
was
she's got-
decided against.
No, we discussed it.
Yes. The potato orphan raises up its orphan club and brings it smashing down on the rock.
She must be like her daddy.
There is
Exactly.
another thud. The orphan looks very satisfied with itself.
Oh, good job.
Do you really want one of these crystals?
You know, I thought we were trying to be stealthy in here, you know, hiding from things. Ivor is now shouting and echoing through the cave. You guys are making a lot of racket by smacking hard things against the rocks.
Do you actually want one of these crystals?
I thought it might be useful.
Okay, well, Wendellorn's going to take back his crowbar and use the hammer and the crowbar to try and break off one of these crystals for Worm.
Can you
Wait.
please give me advantage on that?
Take it back from who?
I loaned you the crowbar.
I have a crowbar.
Oh, okay. Well, fine, then I'll use my own.
You should have used 2 crowbars.
I could have been dual wielding crowbars.
Extra leverage.
That would have worked. Oh, come on.
I am afraid your hammer and crowbar do not suffice.
Clearly, these cannot be removed from the wall.
I'm just imagining Wendelord with the hammer and the crowbar in each hand, just doing like an anime dual wielding flurry against the wall, and just having no effect.
These minerals are clearly sacred to roll 20. I should have known better. The slashes
You
run
know-
at the wall, throwing their full body weight against the wall.
Is this the
They
true?
smashed it into pieces.
This is the true final boss.
Wall. Him.
I guess I'll wait until Slash does his thing.
Wow.
None of
The
them
axe is
make it.
really great.
Wow.
2 natural ones.
2 of them have disintegrated against the wall, haven't they?
If we were doing fun crit fails, then yes, but we're just doing regular fails, so no.
Oh.
Fun crit fails, gotcha.
They're fun for
So
me because
fun.
I'm the DM.
That's fair. Ivor will now come back to the entrance to the cave. You know, if you wanted some of these rocks, the things we just killed had some on them. Like, we wouldn't have to do any work, we just pick them up.
I mean, you would have to pry
Oh.
him out of the metal, I suppose, but that's probably not as big a deal.
Walk of shame.
This is the first foe that has truly defeated the entire party. And I guess Vesper didn't do anything, but Vesper may just be wise in choosing to
Yeah.
stand it out.
Ivor just Not even gave up. He knew the foe was too dangerous for
Yes.
us to initiate combat.
He just analyzed from the shadows.
From very far away in the shadows. Well, should we go examine the stone wall and how to gesture in the direction of it? Or should we go down some of the other routes that the lizards came at us from? I imagine with all of that noise, if they were going to assault us, they probably would have by now, but you
Is he
never know.
plucking minerals out of the lizard corpse?
You say you're getting the minerals out?
If I can.
All right, can you can you give me one last strength roll, please? Congratulations, you pry out the
Huzzah.
minerals.
I was saving it for this moment.
Clippity
Thank
clap. I was just slapping my arm because I had to hold down the control button.
Oh. Counts, it's okay. How many mineral bits did I get?
That's a good question. 3. I'm sorry.
It's amazing.
The rest of them crumbled into nothing as you try to pry them out.
Well, while you work on that, I will be off exploring. You are very bright. I am trying to be stealthy.
Ivor makes his way. Ivor wakes his way. Wakes his May. No, he makes his way north.
Yes, I want to go this way.
You find a portion
Ooh.
of wall.
More wall.
There is no more door in this wall, though.
They just left their spiritual weapon up there,
Poor Mini Vesper.
hanging out.
So lonely.
Maybe Mini Vesper would have been helpful against the wall.
Probably. Mini Vesper's dead
Yeah.
by now.
I'll try and sneakily view around this edge here.
All right.
Don't go from Wendell and he'll yell at you.
You see more door. If that actually revealed. 1 second.
Does one simply walk into it?
Hmm. Da-da-da-da.
Ooh, that is indeed more door. Okay, I will return to party.
All right.
There is both more wall and more door. But again, the wall of the architected type, not the natural type, yada yada.
There were no minerals in these walls. Probably.
The walls are made of minerals.
I think
Oh,
we should
no.
attempt to walk into Mordor.
I think so as well, but perhaps maybe if any of you have any, magic tricks to help us scout ahead a little bit. If not, I will simply try to pick the locks. But
Well,
assuming
there's-
they even are locked,
Can we send Ghost Slash through it?
this is a good point.
Ghost Slash is eager to try. Which one did you like him to go through?
Should he go through door, more door, or further door?
So he goes through door number 2, whichever that is.
All right, we'll say this is door number
middle
2.
one?
What's behind door number 2?
So Slash Ghost jumps out of the mini slashes, who go clattering to the ground like so much meat, except they're not meat. And he tries to phase through it. He puts an arm through, and then immediately pulls it back. And he tells you about how the walls are full of people. They are full of screaming and anguished souls that are continuously drowning, and it's not very pleasant. And they tried to pull him in, but he did not follow. He thought that would be a poor choice of action.
Is there just water behind these doors?
There could be.
Slash, is it the wall that is full of people, or are the doors also full of people?
He says that he couldn't feel a difference between them.
I see.
He tries to put his hand through both the door and the wall, and he doesn't get much further than his elbow before he can't help himself from pulling away.
Is the same true for the other door nearby?
He walks to the other one, and this time he puts his head through, and it seems to cause him quite a lot of pain to go through. But then when he pulls back, he says that yes, he felt exactly the same. However, on the other side of this door, there's a bunch of little scrawny creatures and lots of piles of trash. They have a fire and they have some little tents.
Do they resemble the lizard things that we just murdered?
They do not.
Interesting.
They look closer to the kobolds that you guys met previously, long ago. By this point, not the kobolds, the gnolls.
What is it with kobolds, or sorry, gnolls, and the corpses of dead goats?
It really do be like that sometimes.
Well, Slash, could you perhaps try the other one down this way?
He runs down to the bottom. He puts his head through, and he sees what is, as far as he can tell, an empty chamber. He is sweating as profusely as a ghost can by this point, and he says he would really prefer not to plunge through the wall anymore.
This is understandable. Well, if we are going to break into any chamber, I suppose we may as well try to break into the one we know is empty. Yes?
Okay.
No? I don't. I am asking a question. Not...
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I allowed to go down here now without you screaming at me?
Yes.
And you see nothing out of the ordinary. You see a door. Congratulations. And I am terribly sorry, but we're going to end there today. I'm feeling really under the weather, and I don't know that I can keep going much more. So thank you guys for playing for the hour or so that we were able to today. We will reconvene next week.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you. So do I.
Yeah, so too. All right, well, see
Thank
you guys
you very
later.
much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.